Hi everyone, I've got a Mikerphone beer. I went to the brewery a couple weeks ago, or less than that, and they had their big Pimpin Guava IPA. It's dry hopped with Citra, Mosaic, and Galaxy, I believe. It's 7.25% alcohol, and it was bottled about 2 weeks ago. And I liked it quite a bit when I've had it, the last couple bottles. But I've realized that some hoppy Mikerphone beers can go downhill really quickly. Like in 1 week, they can kind of change in color and lose their bright, fresh, fruity hop aromas and flavors. Hopefully this one's okay. And it was super duper hazy because of all the guava juice in there. And then I brought it on the plane and probably got kicked up even more, all that yeast. So it's really, really intense, deep, crazy pink looking. If I let it sit in my fridge for another week, maybe it would fall, but then maybe it would, have a nosedive in quality. But it's not just all just murky old hazy IPA. It's a lot of that is coming from the guava. As you can see, hopefully it has a lot of pink notes in there. And you could almost call this a shandy. It's so fruity. It actually has a little bit of tartness, but I was worried it'd be too tart because I don't want it to be like a sour IPA type thing. I usually don't like most of the things that are, marketed as sour IPAs. But it smells, tropical, just like guava, but lots of grapefruit probably coming from the hops and the guava combination. And it smells pretty good. Just a little bit of a hint of a mouth-watering acidity. Maybe it smells a little bit like a tropical smoothie a bit. There are some generic sort of tropical candy things going on and sort of runts. Maybe not quite Smarties candies, but a lot of that stuff happening at the same time as fresh, tart juiciness. It's a lip smacker. Doesn't make you pucker though. When they finish, there's a good amount of bitterness. I feel like it might be, I might get a little bit more yeasty, hazy chalkiness on the tongue now than I did because, I took this on the plane, I'm sure, or it was like thrown around in my suitcase a bunch. A pretty good body. It's not really that soft. It's really got that tart, bitter juice bite thing going on. A lot like drinking grapefruit juice, but there's a hint of like a red berry flavor that's kind of nice, almost hibiscus too. But pretty palatable. I feel like it hasn't lost its freshness yet. And quite refreshing, not boozy. I don't notice the over 7% alcohol, and I find it pretty palatable, considering all the junk in there and the tartness and a good amount of bitterness. I would say it's still more palatable than some of these really lactic acid forward dry hop sours I've had, or some sour IPAs. I don't know if I'd be able to chug this. I don't know if it's crushable, because that's going to really just dry out your whole mouth, I would say, from the acidity and the bitterness. But it's pleasant. But I wish I could have gotten a fresh, regular old Mikerphone IPA or pale ale with nothing else thrown in it. I was excited when I got there because they just released a double dry hop Citra vanilla IPA, but there's just so much vanilla in it, and it was clearly vanilla extract. It was just way too much. But I loved their Mikerphone Drop, which is their double dry hop Citra pale ale that I got last summer, the day it was released. And that's probably one of my favorite beers of the year. Like, it was like this one where it doesn't have really that nice of a head, doesn't have the nicest feel, and doesn't have the best shelf stability like a lot of Mikerphone beers. But I feel like they do make some really good stuff. So hopefully next time I'm there, I'll be able to get just a regular old IPA from them, because they're big on these crazy big flavors, which are super fun, and they often turn out pretty well. Yeah, this one's good. I'll give it a 4, at least. I'd recommend it. Maybe get it as soon as possible. I think it might still only be available at the brewery, may only be available there, but still drinking really well. If you like sort of sour IPAs or like fruity ones that are kind of tart, if you like dry hop sours, this might be up your alley too. So, a solid 4, I'd say. Bye.